Come speak tonight, so I'm just going to turn it over to him. Make sure this is on.
Make sure it's on.
It's on.
You gotta hear me.
Yes.
Praise the Lord. I'm even a poet, I bet you didn't know it, did you? Roses are red, violets are blue. God made me wonderful. What happened to you? Praise the Lord. That's kind of rude, isn't it? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You know, we just got done with the Super Bowl in this great United States. I don't know if anybody here watched it. I didn't watch it, but and I didn't watch the halftime show either. But you look at media and look at any social media, and you're going to see it. It's one of the most vulgar things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, right out there in front of everybody, kids. There's one pastor right now that's suing because of this show. I don't know how far he'll get because he is praised. That show was praised by the media, by the news, by Hollywood. It was vulgar. Mm-hmm. It was something. Now I was in the Army, and I remember when I got to station, and everybody goes to these places and stuff. It was worse than any place I'd ever been. Right there on a football field. With all these people watching.
Yeah.
That just shows us the days that we're in. As we're singing these songs, we might miss some notes here and there. We might be a little off tune somewhere. But God's got this orchestra that never misses a beat.
Amen.
Beautiful sounding. Beautiful sounding. But I wonder if that's any better than us giving real praise as good as we can with the voices that we have. That's all He expects out of us.
Amen.
I think, just to know that we're just giving Him. Jesus sang a song one time. The Bible recorded it. He sang. We don't know how He sung. If He sounded good, I doubt if He did. Because if He did, it was probably like today. If you have a voice, they're going to raise you up. They're going to say, hey, you're the greatest. We're going to listen to you for everything. We're going to take your opinion on whatever you got, but you can sing.
Right.
But they didn't do that to Jesus. I doubt if He had a good voice. But it was good enough. He put it out there. That was what it's for.
Yeah.
But He sang them songs. It's not how He sang. It's the heart. It's what comes out.
Amen.
It's pretty safe for me to say that somebody has done you wrong or you've been disappointed. Maybe you've got a good marriage. Maybe your wife is the best wife. Maybe your husband is the best of them. Sometime along the way, you've been disappointed with them. I can just about guarantee you that. Maybe you fixed your hair one day, expect him to come home and say, hey, I really like that. But maybe he walks right by and doesn't even notice. Or maybe the husband thinks the wife is going to say something. They've had a day they don't even notice. We all went through that. We have days and disappointments.
Yeah.
I want to read out of Psalms 139. It's a little bit long here. All right. Time. Psalms 139. I'm going to read it. I can almost make this Bible out without my glasses on. I like to write things out where I see them. I can see them better, but I didn't write all these out. Brother Rick. You know, Brother Rick, he asked me, it's been a few days ago, and you know, it happens every time. I got all this time. Oh, good. You know, I've got an idea of what I want to talk about. Got all this time, and guess what I'm doing today? trying to get it together. Well, this is what I wanted to talk about, but you know, it all has to come together. And we just ask the Lord to bless it. So we get the word out that we need to get the people out. 139, it says, O Lord, thou hast searched me and know me. Thou knowest my downsitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all of my ways. There is not a word in my tongue, though, O Lord, that thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art up there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light unto me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. Praise the Lord. For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Oh, that's a lot. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I want to talk a little bit about the human. I'm going to focus on that 14th verse. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am fearfully, wonderfully made. This is the God that made me. This is whose child I am. Fearfully, in this verse, means extremely, exceedingly. I am exceedingly made. I am extremely. He wasn't just a little thought. I wasn't just a little thought to God. I was thought out to the fullest. In my mother's womb, He knows everything about me. He fashioned me exceedingly. The word in this, wonderfully. He made me wonderfully. If you look at these people out here, they say you come from a monkey. That's not wonderfully made. That's coming from a monkey. God made me wonderfully. wonderfully, in a way that inspires delight.
Amen.
God delighted in me. He made me and He delighted in what He was making. He knew I was going to be no good. He knew I was going to do stupid things. But He delighted, because He knew one time when He called and I would come to Him. You know, I'm 60 years old. Age means nothing. 60, 100, 5, 12. Now, I heard a man say something I didn't hear very much, but I heard this and it really brought a thought to me. He said that the sheep hear my voice. He said, Jesus didn't say the lambs heard His voice. He said the sheep. Now you think about it. So I started thinking about this and I thought, now them lambs, especially get out there in a meadow on a nice warm day, especially the sun shining down, them lambs out there, they're running about. They're happy. They ain't got a care in the world. That shepherd says something, they're not going to listen. Not one time, are they? No, they're going to be jumping around. But the sheep, they hear something. They hear a call from the shepherd. It's either it's time to move or there's danger. Now them lambs, they're not going to know, but there's a time. The lambs have to grow up. And they'll be the sheep. They'll be responsible for the little bitty lambs to gather around them and protect them when the shepherd yells there's danger. Wonderfully made. Admiration. Wonderful. God had admiration. Extremely well. You were made extremely. He had a pattern with every, not even an inch, every particle, every cell, everything was predetermined.
Amen.
Wonderfully made. And the other word, I will praise Thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous is causing great wonder. Extraordinary. Just think, Paul Kilman's extraordinary. Extremely good and pleasing. Splendid. That was Psalms 39:14. Marvelous are Thy works. I am His works. Marvelous. He called me marvelous.
Hallelujah.
Amen. We did not evolve. There was no evolution involved in this. We were made with a purpose, with the greatest love that we cannot even imagine. He loved you. He made you. He made you for a purpose. That you would live with Him forever. And you would know what love really is. When Thou saidst, Seek ye my face, my heart said unto Thee, Thy face, Lord, will I seek. Praise God. Psalms 8 says, What is man that Thou art mindful of him? Genesis 1:26 said, And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creepy thing that creepeth upon the earth. And God made man in His own image. In the image of God created He him. Male and female created He them. And God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good. Praise God. Very good. He loves you more than we can even express in anything that we say. Now I'm going to give you a few numbers here. The average human, the average man, takes between 12 and 20 breaths every minute. So that is 17,000 to 30,000 breaths a day. That's how much your lungs, that's your lungs, up and down, 30,000 times a day. I average that out, 17 to 30,000 is 23,500. Average, how many times you breathe a day. Put a little work on that lungs. They're going. And you don't even have to think about it. You don't have to sit there and say, okay, breathe, okay, breathe, okay, breathe. It does. You breathe. This is the human body. This is something that they try to tell us is nothing. The human body is something. God loves us. I'm not going to get down to the, okay, we did, Adam ate that apple. I know that. Something happened after that, but He still loves us. He still made us. He still made us wonderfully. All right. We breathe 23,500 times a day. That makes 8,577,500 times a year. That's how many times you breathe. I'm 60 years old. I've breathed 514,650,000 times. Whew. Kathy's back there checking my math.
I was thinking, well, I'm going to add 8 years to that.
Praise the Lord. Maybe you breathe a little slower. See, that's it. All right, let's talk about the heartbeat. Our lungs. I mean, I was wanting to get into more medical, what our bodies work. Oh, wow, that is, you can't explain that. I mean, it's just too much involved. And just to think, they think it all just happened. Jesus didn't just happen. Average heartbeat is 80 a minute. That makes 115,200 a day. Heartbeat, that's a one, and they call the heart a muscle. One muscle, heartbeat, every day. 1 year, that equals to 42,048,000. 60-year-old, that's 2,522,880 beats. What man-made machine could do that? I haven't even put any oil on it. I've abused it. I've abused it a lot. I would wonder what a human that didn't abuse their body would be capable of. You know, back before the flood, now scientists say this, I put some stock into some things scientists say until they get back to saying the earth has been here for millions of years and stuff like that. I really don't see that. But they said before the flood, the air quality would have been different. And for somebody to live 1,000 years, it isn't too far-fetched. But in something like that, they probably aged a lot slower. So maybe, and they didn't marry. Usually didn't marry until they was over 100. Now there was a couple of them that did a little bit earlier. So I would say, like what, 50 would be like 12-year-old or something like that. I may be off base there, but it could be true. All right. Now this might get me in trouble. I started thinking about it. Now we got, so many wonderful things. I mean, I thought about your eyes, your mouth, your ears. I thought my mouth. Well, that's what gets me in trouble, my mouth. So, well, how many words do people speak? How many would you think? Okay, here. Get me in trouble here. Study came out, and men speak Now this study, about 7,000 words a day. I don't know where these men at. Now I was always kind of the quiet guy. Everybody used to ask me, "Oh, you're so quiet. Don't you ever talk?" 7,000 words a day. Now there's other studies that bring that down a little bit. This one, women.
4,000.
14.
20,000. 20,000 words a day. One of the women said, "Well, we have to explain to you men." I would like to say, if I spoke that many words, all right. That would be 1,825,000 a year. Now, I didn't multiply it by 60 years because there was a couple of years there I didn't say a word. And then, there's been times I haven't talked so much, but if I did most of it, that's like 91,250,000 words I've spoken. And I'm going to tell you, I put this at 90%, but I'm thinking more like 95%. Words I probably didn't even need to say. Some of them words that really got me in trouble. Some of them were really negative words. That's a lot of words. Now, on February the 7th, now I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about the news now. CBS, I don't know if anybody else caught this but me, the morning news reporting. Now this actually happened. I don't even know if they realized what they said. They said, women and men are different. They did. And then they said, women cannot handle the same stressful jobs as men. CBS said that. They sure did. I don't know if anybody else caught it and they got in trouble, but they actually said that. The body is different. Women are made for one thing, men are made for another. God said that. It don't make you worse. It makes you different. What's wrong with that?
Right.
Who made us? God. The human body, the physical substance of the human organism, composed of living cells and extracellular materials, and organized into tissues, organs, and systems. Now, I tried to read a lot of that, what it was, and it's in detail. But just think, the human hand, man's hand, can grasp, it can punch, or it can be very gentle to a newborn baby with it. He can just lie and make sure it doesn't hurt that gentle little child. The human hand. So much work has been done using your hands, your feet. Thank God, we get around, we do things, we go places. All this body. How wonderful. And how to teach our kids that through some slime, well, we evolved into this. We are wonderfully made. We're not slime.
Amen.
God has got a place for us.
Yes, He does.
I want to have that oil. I don't want to be the one going out there to buy it.
Right.
Because you have to go out there to buy it. You might come to the door and it's already shut. I want to be there to go into the door. Now, I used to think that if I make it in, that's good enough. My mind's changed a little bit. I want to make it in because God is great. I want to do everything I can to make it in. I don't want to be on that borderline. God saw everything that He made, and it was good. And then He put man, had dominion over everything He had made. I have felt in my life like I was outside looking in. And Jesus said, come to Him. I don't care what I've done. I don't care what you've done. And it's the same as what we didn't do. His love is going to pull us through. We get our faith in Him. What kind of love has He got for us? Out in this world, people, it's hard to explain how they are. They always run into something, always looking for something. And then they find these little things and they think that's it, but it's not it, because the next time you see them, they're looking for something else. They're not going to find what they need until they come to Jesus Christ.
Amen. For
His love and His mercy. God loves me. Romans 5:8 said, for God commended His love toward us, that's you and me, that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us.
Amen.
The word commended, I had to look it up. I didn't know what it meant. To present, mention, or praise as worthy. He mentioned us as worthy. He presented us as worthy. He praised us as worthy. This is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Can we get this stuff in our hearts? Can I really be a child of God? The flesh states many reasons to fall short. The flesh states many reasons not to pray. The flesh states many reasons why I don't need to read the Word today. The flesh is weak. But Jesus said, be of good cheer, because I have overcome. He overcame the flesh. All right. We get free salvation. We get free healing. We get free overcoming of the flesh.
Amen.
Free. Now this should make Bernie Sanders happy.
Right?
Free. Nothing you can do for it. By His blood, you're saved. By His stripes, you are healed. And be of good cheer, because I've overcome the flesh.
Amen.
What I have, I give unto you.
Amen.
We were yet sinners, and God commended His love toward us. We were yet sinners. God commended us. He called you, and He praised you. Do we even know how much we're loved? Salvation is free. Healing is free. Overcoming is free. He said, ask what you will, and it shall be done. Now, I know churches don't have as much resemblance to the old-time church, the Church of Acts. Now we have Peter and John were walking along. They go into the church. And there was a beggar there, and he yelled out for some alms, and Peter and John walked to him, and they said, asked him there what he would want. And the man was expecting something from him. And Peter said, silver and gold have we none. They were preachers. He didn't say, I've got gold in my other pant pocket back at home. See, we've got this thing where preachers think they've got a paycheck coming. That's not the way of the Acts church. That's not the way of the church. When you have a church together, you take care of your pastor. It's not a paycheck. You take care of it. They said that they come out, do all that you want us to do. Go wait on tables. The church is to take care of the pastor. The pastor is to pray, and the pastor is to look after every sheep in the fold. That's what the church did. Read the Bible, pray to God. It's not a thing to say, okay, we've got to save up money for those vacations. We've got to, have a retirement, like so many churches today. I don't understand the church. Jesus performed more miracles. When did he get rich? I don't want to down preachers, but I've seen some things preaching, healing preachers. And right in the middle of healing, they promote a book that they want to sell. When did we get money and healing put together? Money, the love of money is the root of all evil. The proverb says, don't make me rich, but don't make me poor where I will steal. Just take care of me, Lord. And that's where preachers used to live at the church. And they were taken care of by the members of the church so they could continually pray. How far have we got from that church? We are careful not to judge. And do not judge by appearance. Now, I've told some of this before, but people see me sometimes and I may be just happy as any time, and they'll say, what's the matter? You look mad. And somebody that got ridiculed about appearances and things was Joseph, which would have been Jesus' dad, stepdad as some call him, earthly dad. Now Joseph was going to put Mary away because she was pregnant. Now, if he'd have made any fuss about it, they'd have had to kill her. That was the law. She was pregnant. They hadn't done their wedding vows yet. They were married, pre-married. Now the Bible called him a just man. He just wanted to put her away. It was probably a thing like maybe move her to another place. Maybe she can find some happiness. Now this is the man thinking. Find some happiness somewhere with some guy. Because they don't talk as much out there in the wilderness. Maybe she can go out there. Because here in town, she's going to be stoned to death. Because she's pregnant. She's been with a man. Now, he marries her. That baby comes a little bit too soon. Oh, people, and that baby don't look much like him. It don't bring the resemblance to Joseph. And there's talk. You don't think there's talk? There's always talk. How about when they said, you know, yeah, that carpenter's son, yeah. Even when they had more kids, hey, that next kid looks a little like Joseph, you know. That one doesn't. Yeah, she was born a little bit early. There was talk. Don't judge by appearance. Now, what breaks this on some is on social media, they'll get the worst picture of somebody and post it up there and put something negative about it. And have the worst picture that they can get. What's that have to do with it? Why put them down on the picture when there's substance? Don't be like them. Don't do the sins that they do. But we don't fight against flesh and blood.
Right.
We fight against principalities and powers. It's the evilness that's got them that we're fighting about. They could be our brothers and sisters and just forgive me, Lord. And we can welcome them and we can enjoy them. But when you put them down physically, when you put them down, how much harder is that going to win their soul?
Right.
Praise the Lord. I know sometimes we get weary, we get tired. But Jesus Christ, He's changing us from day to day. You can grow in the Lord. And we are growing. And if we see this is the church that's going to grow, and we're getting a little bit bolder in the Lord, we're getting a little bit stronger, maybe that's when the Lord's going to start bringing them through the doors. Helping the people of this community. Reaching out to those that don't have any hope. That Brother Absalom, he'll text me. I don't talk to him a lot, but he'll text me every once in a while saying, how you doing? Just how are you and stuff like that. He just texted me, and I've just been thinking about it. And I told him, yeah, I was just thinking about you over there. I always had this, and this is a personal thing, I always had this thought of one of them poor children that you see, just if I could just some way physically be there, some way physically just give them a bite to eat, give them a drink of water, just hold them. It would make, Lord, you don't have to pay me anything. That'd be worth it to me. Just that one, just give them a little bit of life, a little bit of hope. But he said something, said, well, you can come over here and help with the ministry. And I said, well, with God, all things are impossible. But with me, I don't have a way to go there. I didn't tell him that. I just said, with God, all things are possible. But on the way here tonight, I started thinking, I wouldn't have to go to Africa. There's children right here. There's plenty of people hurting right here. Why am I so hypocritical? Why ain't I out there talking to them? Why ain't I at the hospital? I just seen I didn't even know there was one. There was a movie about that big earthquake in San Francisco. And I just caught it. I had forgotten. That killed a lot of people. That smashed them. That was a devastating thing. A lot of pain. There's a lot of pain out there in this world. And we can do our part to get close enough to God that He can send us out there. And go with the authority of Jesus Christ. Amen. That we might win the lost. And these physical bodies, I know I'm getting older. But God, He can make us the way we need to be. He made us to start with. Wonderfully. And the Bible says, when Moses, he didn't diminish Even to the day he died, he didn't diminish. He was the same. His eyesight was the same. His strength. God just told him, no, you're not going to live any longer. This is going to be it. If God has something for us to do, I believe he's going to make a way to do it. If he wants this church filled and we grow and we submit to him, I believe it'll be filled. Amen. I'm going to let the pastor come up and try to correct anything I messed up on. I appreciate y'all listening. Praise the Lord.
Well, first thing he said about him being that palmy toad, I don't agree with him there.
Roses are red.
Praise the Lord. Good word. Amen. Praise God. God did make us, didn't he?
He did.
Just the way he wants us. Hallelujah. And he's every day, like he said, every day he's making us to be more like him. Amen. Praise God. Good word tonight. I sure appreciate you all coming out. Praise God. Come back next week if you can. And invite somebody to church. Go out there and reach that broken heart this week. Amen. Go reach somebody with the gospel. Hallelujah. Don't know what God will do. We just don't know. Use your faith. Speak the word. And God will perform it. Hallelujah. Praise God. A lot of times we get mixed up on that part. We thinking we need to do something. We just plant the seed and water the ground a little bit. God brings the increase. Amen. But we have to do our part. Praise God. So yeah, tell somebody about the Lord. Tell somebody about the church. Invite them to church. And pray for the church this week. Amen. Praise God. I sure appreciate you all coming tonight. If you stand with me. And let's just go. I'll just dismiss us